Hey guys, Alan from Stillwell Performance here, talking about a new service that we're offering, custom bike builds. With the success we've had building championship level bikes for guys like Cody Webb and Jason Thomas, we decided that due to customer demand, it's something we wanted to get into, and the response has been very, very good for us. I wanted to show you this bike that we just finished completing for a customer in Hawaii. And this customer bought a brand new Beta, a 2016 300RR, sent it to us in the crate and asked us to build it up for him. He is an off-road serious die-hard rider, and we're building this bike and completed this bike for the King of the Motos race. He'll then take this back over to the islands and ride their extreme enduros over there. So a lot of really cool things that we're doing. When we have the ability to take a bike straight out of the crate, we can not only modify it with our normal suspension and motor services, but we can actually build it around the rider. Because this rider is an extreme rider, we built the bike around that particular style of riding. This guy's a little bit bigger, so the first thing you'll notice about it is we installed a higher profile soft seat for him. A lot of these races like King of the Motos, you're on the bike for over 100 miles, and you want to make sure that you're comfortable while you're doing that because a lot of your riding is sitting down. The extreme races require the bike to finish, so we put a heavy-duty BRP chain guide on it, and we also installed a Bulletproof Designs chain guide bracket that actually strengthens the 2 points where the chain guide attaches to the swing arm. Along with that, we installed a Dirt Trick sprocket. These are great sprockets. They're super, super tough, and a Regina chain, an O-ring chain on it. Because he's looking to get maximum power to the ground and the type of riding and racing he does, not just at King of the Motos in California, but also in Hawaii, we elected to go with the tubeless system. The tubeless system allows us to run a lot less pressure than normal tubes or bib mooses, and we mated that up to a trials tire on the back. Pretty specialized tire. If you haven't run one, it's a great thing to try. Super soft compound as far as the knobs go, and really good traction. We did some work on the electronics due to everything we bolted on the bike. The King of the Motos race requires you to navigate. We installed the TrailTech Voyager, which is really the gold standard for this type of riding and racing where you need to navigate over land. We installed the pickup for that right on the rear fender, and underneath we did all the wiring. Everything's soldered, crimped, and perfectly put in place here. This guy's got pretty big feet, so we elected to go with the new Fastway foot pegs that actually have the ankle saver function going on with them. It allows you to rock back, put a lot more weight on the rear end to gain traction, lift the front end, and so forth. So these are called ankle savers, and they're made by Fastway. Along those same lines, the good old Fastway Stillwell Performance linkage guard, which is the gold standard of anything off-road, we installed one of those, and he'll be able to adjust that for the different types of terrain that he's going to ride. There's 4 different positions, stock, and 3 more positions. That actually affects how the shock reacts in the initial stroke, as well as lowering the back. A lot of adjustability there. Further forward, we put on a Hyde Racing skid plate. Very heavy duty. We like these for extreme because they'll come up and cover the stator, cover this side panel. That's really important because you do take a lot of side impacts. The bike could tumble, get stuck in the rocks, and so forth. So while we're at this point, we put a high-end stator in this as well to support the Baja Designs lighting kit. We did enduro engineering radiator protection. We really like this because it protects not just the front, but they also wrap around. A lot of times in enduro and extreme races, you know, the bike falls on a log, it falls on a rock, so there's a lot of good side protection that'll keep the coolant inside the radiators. There is a lot going on up here as far as the bar setup. You can see the Acerbis guards. These are pretty cool. Mounts up to a Pro Taper bar. He went with a high bend, kind of a CR high bend. There's something new that we just installed for him. This is called the Clake system, and this system came out of Australia. It's pretty popular, and it seems to be catching on here. It is a rear brake system to work with the Recluse clutch as well as a clutch system. Scott steering stabilizer. This one is above the bar. Baja Designs headlight. We set the suspension up on this bike for extreme. So when we do a suspension like this, we want the first 6 inches of travel to be super, super plush and move really fast. That's going to gobble up a lot of your trail trash, and then when you do get into the bigger hits, we slow it down and give you the right amount of bottoming control to keep you out of the bottom of the stroke as much as possible without sacrificing all the plushness that we're known for in our setups. Pretty much the same setup on the shock. We did run the sack shock on the back, the Stalker. We like that. We're coming out with some new products like a high flow piston and a bladder kit for it, so stay tuned. We'll give you a better look at those when they become available, but we like that sack shock. We've worked on it now since 2012. When I ran the race team, we ran that shock the first year and had good luck with it, so we've got great settings. We're running Dunlop tire on the front. Really, really good choice for tire. I like these Dunlops a lot. And we elected to go with the stock pipe. We went in and completely ported the cylinder, cleaned it up. We milled the head. This is the same mods that we did to Cody's race bike, and he really, really liked it. We had the ability to test with FMF to get the right kind of power out of the motor with their exhaust systems and match up with what we did with the internal porting, the head work. We changed the deck height and some things like that. So we like this pipe. Actually, it's stock. It's made by FMF, and we saw no reason to change that. Going down this side of the bike, we installed the Recluse system, the Core EXP, great for off-road, definitely an extreme rider's friend. There are upgraded hoses on this bike. They're a little bit thicker. It's the same hoses that we ran on the factory bikes. We also put a fan. This is a beta fan. Put the kit on there, so we wanted to make sure that the bike is not going to boil over when it gets into extreme situations. A fan is always a good idea on a high output 300, especially with the motor mods that we did on this one. Big brake tip. Sometimes you'll be in situations where it's hard to get your foot on the brake when you need it, so we installed the big brake tip. This is a beta item here. FMF, turbine core, quiet technology exhaust, bulletproof designs, rear disc guard, protects the rear rotor. It's one of the lowest hanging pieces on the bike besides the linkage. It definitely has to be protected. It can put you out of a race. So we went with a bulletproof designs. They're real tough, real burly, can take a lot of abuse. So that's really it. We can build a bike for you just like this or something completely different. We specialize in KTMs, Husqvarnas, and Betas as far as our factory builds, and also adventure bikes. You can see that 690 over there is going to get the treatment here. We can build those for pretty much, the novice guy who wants to go out on the weekend and have some fun to the hardcore racer who really wants to just push his bike and his body to the limit. So give us a call here at the shop. You can hit us up at stillwellperformance.com or call us at the shop. We'd love to talk to you about what we can build for you, and whatever you do, get out there and keep it pinned.